It's a wonderful festival that brings the whole community together.
We've been the last couple of years as a family, and my kids really enjoy it, and there's a lot of activities, and you know, I think also there's a lot of opportunity to learn about how Milton does operate as a town. How can people get resources, find information, and also meet new friends. I think that's a great point. Mr. Chairman, do you have a report?
I do not have anything to report tonight.
Okay, we'll move on to the members' report. I don't have anything at this time, though I do want to recognize the Wildcat football team. Starting 3-0 and beating Walpole, and I was talking to my neighbor, Eddie Baker, who writes the illustrious sports section that everybody checks out every Thursday, and he asked me when was the last time Milton Milton beat Walpole and Natick in the same year, and I'm not sure that ever happened. So let's put that out there to all the viewers, and maybe we'll get an answer to that for Eddie. Katie, do you have anything?
I have just two quick things to mention, and one is just a reminder of something that Tom announced at the last meeting, which is that right before Celebrate Milton on Sunday, the Run Milton Half Marathon will be taking place. It starts at 8 o'clock this Sunday morning at Town Hall, and it's a big fundraiser for the Council on Aging. So the committee that's running this, which does include my sister, asked that we just announce an opportunity for everybody to come out and show their support for Milton and for the Council on Aging. And there's a few key locations around town. Adams Street is going to be Milton's Heartbreak Hill for the day. The race will go through the Central Ave and the Milton Village Business District, so a lot of the shops there will be open, and some of them are taking part. Turner's Pond, there's going to be a big delegation of, I think the Dorchester Running Club will be there giving out water. I'm going to be working at one of the water stations, and I know, David, you said you might be taking part in this. So it is a great fundraiser for the Council on Aging, and 8 o'clock Sunday morning at Town Hall, anyone to bring kids and family members and just come out and cheer and celebrate the runners and cheer them on. The only other thing I wanted to mention is that congratulations to the Milton Times on their 20th anniversary. I went to their celebration anniversary dinner on Friday night. It was very nice, and wanted to congratulate Pat Desmond and the entire staff at the Milton Times for their 20th anniversary. I know they have a special issue coming out soon, and they gave the award, speaking of Eddie Baker, they gave the award to Eddie Baker.
So,
yes.
And he gave me a hard time. My wife and I weren't able to attend, and I feel awful that we weren't, but I'm glad to hear that it was such a success, and congratulate Pat and all the staff of the Milton Times for such a great turnout. Okay, so number 18 is Citizen Speak Response.
Yeah, well, first with respect to the curry thing, Anne Marie and myself did have a meeting over at what's his name?
Pat Greeley.
Pat Greeley's house, yes, and unfortunately at that time, there was nothing going on, so we listened to him. After that, we did have a meeting with both Emily and John Flynn to kind of discuss, specifically the lights, in terms of is there anything we can do? Are they covered by Dover Amendment? Are they not covered? The structure, if it's a structure, did it need a building permit? Did it get a building permit? So we asked all those questions, and to a large degree, the noise bylaw article that just came out was the genesis of that meeting. So we're doing what we can on it. One thing I might suggest is maybe toward some night when there is a football game or some event over there that all of us go over there and experience it firsthand. It's kind of hard to experience it if there's nothing going on. But I'd be curious to see just how loud that music is, and how obtrusive those lights are.
That's a good idea, Tom, because I was there too on a night that there was no lights on, there was no music, so it is hard to really get a sense of it, but I think we're all sympathetic to Pat Greeley's situation. He's the one who presented the warrant article a few years ago, and the Dover Amendment is a serious issue here. So, but that is a good idea to go out and experience it on a night that we know definitely the noise and the lights will be
Yeah,
in operation.
If we experience it, maybe we can, then all of us go forward to Curry and say, oh, gosh, either it is or it isn't really offensive, and maybe get something accomplished that way, because it's so unclear what Dover Amendment covers and what it doesn't cover.
Yeah, and the planning board was, before they withdrew it, they were looking at an institutional review bylaw, and I think I watched their most recent meeting, and I'm pretty sure they said that would be one of their priorities going forward for May. So I know that they are going to be turning their attention back to it, but again, you have an issue of prospective application rather than it helping this immediate situation. So this situation probably does need some direct communications to follow up with Curry.
I agree.
Okay. And then the only other thing I wanted to say was, with respect to all the airplane noise stuff, and I agree with all of you that it is a problem, it's a huge problem, and we are doing our best to try to do something about it. The fact we're having an executive session tonight on it, we've talked many times to town council about it and what the proper course of action is. But the one thing I know for certain is that airplane traffic into Logan is not going to diminish. And part of the reason for that is because Boston has become such a cultural center, such a business center. Boston's growing, and rightfully so. People should visit Boston. It's good for our economy. It's good for a lot of things. So airplane traffic is not going to diminish. The issue is how we get it fairly distributed, and I think we have to focus on what we can accomplish and determine what that is and work towards that goal, as opposed to trying to take pot shots all over the place and going around without any direction at all. And we're not going to stop technology. Technology in terms of next gen, is probably not going to go away. That there will be, some kind of guidance system that is GPS based or satellite based. And you're not going to stop it. So the issue is again equity. And we all know that from there was I think it was a Rotary meeting that was an expert on airplane noise that gave a 15-minute talk, and he said clearly airplanes can be designed to run quieter. Airplanes can be designed to be more fuel friendly in terms of not dropping particulate. The problem is airplanes last for a very, very long time. Even if we started right now doing that, the planes that are around now are going to be around for 20, 25, 30 years. They go from the big airlines to the smaller airlines, so they'll go away for a long time. That's a problem. But clearly, trying to, the federal government did it with cars in terms of making them, more emission friendly, and it could do it with airplanes too if it wanted to. It's just for whatever reason it's chosen not to.
I think that's very well said, Tom. And I think we spoke a lot about it earlier, about airplane noise, and I think that obviously we'll be meeting with town council, and we take this matter very serious. And our goal is to alleviate the amount of air traffic over Milton. As you said, it isn't going away. Boston is an international city, but I think that our focus should be on finding ways to alleviate and to really redistribute that airplane traffic to other communities as well. So it's well shared.
Just on the following up on some of the comments, unfortunately there were comments tonight, and there were very passionate comments from people about their experiences, and we all share them and understand that. There were a few references at different times, inaction by the town, no action from the town. And I think a lot of that is generated, and I think that a lot of the participation here tonight is generated by a letter to the editor that the Boston Fair Skies group, which is a grassroots group, submitted to the Milton Times. It was published last week. I sent both of you over the weekend a draft of a response letter to the editor that I wrote up. If you're interested in signing off on it, we'll make it from all three of us. If not, I'm happy to submit it myself. it's important, I think, that we respond to some of these allegations. That letter mentioned no involvement by the selectmen, no support from the selectmen. That is just plain false. We've been involved in this on a number of different levels, and there's a citation of a number of the meetings that the grassroots group had and attended and maybe even organized over the past year or two, and we were at many of those meetings. That's a group that has done a lot of hard work, no question, but it bears repeating, we are all on the same team here, and we need to work together. It's not a time for division, it's a time for unity, and it's not helpful when we have letters to the editor basically claiming that the selectmen haven't done anything. That's just not true. And in this response, assuming it's our response, or if you all want to sign on to it, I think we need to state, so I put forth a few things that we have done, including the very strong comment letter that Town Council drafted and had some input from the Airplane Noise Advisory Committee, from Cindy Christensen, the CAC rep, from the board. So there's been a lot more that's gone on, but we need to highlight the things that we've done, because it's unfortunate that there's a Facebook page and there's this letter to the editor, and if the perception is out there is that the town is not doing anything, then that's, number one, untrue, and number two, unfortunate, and it's not helping any of us. So I hope that the folks who are here tonight, the different representatives on different committees, we all need to be working together here. And we can have different means of doing things, but we need to be productive, and we need to be positive, and we need to be committed to getting a good result. And I think I know we're all committed to doing that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that when we talk about the negatives, it takes people away from what we are working to accomplish.
That's right.
And I think that our focus should be on what we can attain as a group, and as I said earlier, extracting information from every individual who brings something to the table. That's what a good team does. They all play a role. Everybody has a role, and I think that that's the way we have to look at this, because, yeah, it is a big fight, but at the same time, it's a fight that we can win if we all decide to work together in a positive manner.
That's right.
So
should we submit the letter to the editor
yes,
as a board?
I'm in favor of that.
Tom, you're okay with that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, what you said.
The letter to the editor, you're okay with, we'll put your name on it?
Yeah, I read that, and I'm fine with it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, number 19 on the agenda is future agenda items.
I don't have anything specifically tonight.
I don't either at this point in time. Okay, so we'll move on to item number 20, which is recess to the meeting of the trustees of the Governor Stoughton Fund.
You want to read that one?
Yep, so I'll move that we recess the meeting to the Board of Selectmen to attend the meeting of the trustees of the Governor Stoughton Fund and return to open session to enter into executive session of the Board of Selectmen.
Second.
Ms. Hurley? I'm sorry, Ms. Conlon?
Yes.
Chairman Hurley, yes, and Mr. Burns, yes. Okay.
So I'll move that we approve the meeting minutes of the trustees of the Governor Stoughton Trust from May 5th, May 7th, June 2nd, and June 16th, 2015, as written.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Conlon?
Yes.
Chairman Hurley?
Yes.
And Mr. Burns, yes. Okay, item number 22 is a request for a donation. Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital. Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital Milton provides free medical care to disadvantaged residents of the town. In FY 2015 BID Milton, the value of the care they provided to the residents for which the hospital was not paid totaled $87,556. Hospital has requested renewed support from the trustee in the amount of $5,000 to defray the cost of providing the care to needy residents.
I'll move that we approve the request of Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital Milton for a donation of $5,000 to help defray the cost of free care provided to needy residents of Milton.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Conlon?
Yes.
Chairman Hurley?
Yes.
And Mr. Burns, yes. Item number 23 on the agenda, adjourn the meeting of the trustees of the Governor Stoughton Fund. I'll move that we adjourn the meeting of the trustees of the Governor Stoughton Fund and return to open session of the Board of Selectmen's meeting.
Second.
Ms. Conlon?
Yes.
Chairman Hurley?
Yes.
And Mr. Burns, yes. Okay, item number 24 is executive session. Pursuant to 940, well, I'll just go right to the motion. Move to enter into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to litigation and to consider the purchase, exchange, taking, lease, or value of real property, believing that having such discussions in open session would have a detrimental effect on the litigating or negotiating position of the board, and to return to open session for the purpose of adjournment.
Second.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Hurley, you need to state that there is no one present at
There
your
is no one present.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Conlon?
Yes.
Chairman Hurley?
Yes.
And Mr. Burns, yes. Okay, so we will now go into executive session.